Matt Forney is an author, journalist, and business owner. He thinks that MGTO men are losers. In one of his recent articles, he said that MGTO are nothing but a creeping cult of male losers, and that men shouldn't join them. He says that the red pill community is a bunch of losers because of the following. He said, the first MGTO rode motorcycles, hit on girls, read books, and use blogs and forums to talk about their ideas. He also said that there was a backlash against the ineffectiveness of men's right activists and the marriage strike. I just want to know why getting married meant having sex only with him. Modern MGTO do talk about marriage strike because marriage ties make men's lives harder than they need to be. Men are usually the ones who take care of and provide for their families. When they get married, they take on a lot more responsibility, both financially and legally. Men going their own way does not forbid having sex, though. Some people in the red pill community think that even marriage shouldn't be illegal, since forcing a man to do anything will not make him go his own way. Matt didn't like marriage strike for another reason. It wasn't in the original MGTO manifesto. Even our constitutions change over time based on what the people need. So, marriage strike wasn't in the original manifesto of the red pill community of MGTO. It was something they added later. So adding this can't make them lose. Men going their own way are men who don't fit in with American culture. So he thought that a man who wants to be alone and avoids women is a loser or a person who doesn't belong in society. Hope he thinks the same way about women who think the same way because of the feminist principle. Women need men like fish need bicycles. I'm sure Matt thinks the same way about them as well. So this thought makes it clear that not only does he not respect personal choices and freedom, but he is also the biggest patriarchal bigot that has been seen in recent years. He thinks that men who give up on women are losers who want to be happy being single after being turned down by women. It seems like the only goal men should have is to be liked by women. He has such a sad and small view of the world. He'd also said that MGTO, or the red pill, is a place for lonely people. Well, we all need love and care from other people. But it's not just the love of a girlfriend or wife. We can still live in a brotherhood where we respect each other and share our happiness and sadness. Because of this, sexual needs are at the bottom of Maslow's hierarchy, below love needs, which are below self-actualization needs. So it's clear that love doesn't mean sexual needs, which is what he meant. He also says, a man can go crazy from lack of sex. I haven't heard of anything like that, though. In fact, all single men in US live happier lives than married men. The fact that the number of married American men who kill themselves is going up all the time is a sign of this. We can be sure that not having sex does not drive men crazy. Men should do other things that are more important. So it looks like his theory is wrong, not the red pill philosophy he wrote about in his article. MGO are angry that they can't find a date. Well, I am so shocked to hear him say this. This shows how little he knows about MGTO. First of all, anyone has the right to call a whore a whore. Because alpha men like him have worshipped VJs for so long, they have pushed men into a corner where even the worst whore demand more rights and respect than the most humble and honest gentleman. You can't call these men losers just because they call a spade a spade. Respect and value should go to people who deserve it, not just anyone. The problem is that the fact that men like Matt Forney are still alive is pushing men into a darker phase where they are taught to worship women no matter what they are like. This is why the most humble and good-hearted men help criminal and rude women get legal protection and money. Because of spineless men like Matt who promote worship, women are willing to abuse men in public and say it's their right to do so. Second criticism is that MGTO are like feminists who go too far. This is all made up by him. I've never seen a member of MGTO act like a radical feminist. Radical feminists will be seen more often complaining about men in the most horrible ways on the streets, in parliaments, or in the media. Yes, all men are pigs, etc. No matter what they say or how much this alpha male bans MGTO, they don't leave out men like Matt. Unless someone is completely spineless, everyone who is smart and cares about themselves will say something about that. This type of generalization, which Matt Forney talks about in his article, was never in the MGTO dictionary, but it is in books by feminists. This is why crimes and punishments are treated differently for men and women. This is why men get more punishment than women for the same crime. Most countries' laws are made in a way that gives women unfair advantages, even though the laws may be the same for both men and women. The problem is that when men bring up crimes committed by women or other similar topics, everyone thinks it's an attack on women and that all women should feel threatened by that. When the roles are switched and men are on the receiving end, men are expected to hate their own gender and look out for women's best interests. Because women can control men in any way they want, men are becoming more and more like slaves. Now, some people like Matt Forning might like that, but not everyone has to feel the same way. Another criticism is that MGTO are crazy, can't take criticism, and are ruled by their emotions. When I read this, I couldn't stop laughing. Looked like it came straight from the mouth of a stupid hole. Anyone who can read and write would have looked up the different debates they had with feminists and how logic and data are used to corner feminist rationalists. In fact, feminists and alpha males are the ones who show how they feel, and they also don't like being criticized. MGTOW blogs and YouTube channels talk about how men can boost their self-esteem and stop being used as a scapegoat by women. Feminists, on the other hand, always blame men for anything bad that has ever happened to a woman. Another argument is that men and women still want to be together at heart. Yes, but that doesn't mean that one gender, in this case, men, has to follow all the rules set by the other gender. I'm not sure why this behavior of the red pill community makes Matt feel like he is in danger. This makes me wonder if the article was really written by him, or if some angry feminists used him as a way to say what they really thought about men going their own way. If a cute, nice girl fell into MGTOW's lap, he would start worshipping her. The same is true for people who worship Vajay's. They will become MGTO if any cute girl robs them of their money, makes them suffer like hell, and takes away their life, dignity, and family. People like Matt Forney are part of this group. The problem is that people like Matt say you should base a relationship on what women want, and MGTO just disagree with that. They get along well and get along with. Another criticism is that MGTO are crazy, can't take criticism, and are ruled by their emotions. When I read this, I couldn't stop laughing. Looked like it came straight from the mouth of a stupid hole. Anyone who can read and write would have looked up the different debates they had with feminists and how logic and data are used to corner feminist rationalists. In fact, feminists and alpha males are the ones who show how they feel, and they also don't like being criticized. MGTOW blogs and YouTube channels talk about how men can boost their self-esteem and stop being used as a scapegoat by women. Feminists, on the other hand, always blame men for anything bad that has ever happened to a woman. MGTOW will make men turn inward and refuse to do anything useful. This is another stupid and uninformed thing to say. It's like saying men can't do anything without women, even though some of the most successful men in the world aren't married or in a relationship. Matt thinks that if a man isn't around women or doing a few girls around, he isn't a complete man or hasn't done anything in life. That is so stupid it hurts. This shows how much he's grown up. I'm actually shocked by how stupid and slow-minded this conclusion is. Even though the article was written by a man, it makes me wonder why he felt the need to say such a thing against MGTO. Was the MGTO standard a threat to him, or did it pose a threat to the feminists who hired him to write this nonsense? This is a clear sign that the MGTO movement and some men leaving women are making many women give up their feminist beliefs. With the popularity of the women against feminism and meninism movements on the rise, feminists are struggling to find a politically correct gynocentric agenda wrapped in a thin layer of gender neutrality so they can stay in business. Show some love and like and subscribe to my channel.